Welcome to the Dad Central Show, hosted by Ed Gough Jr. and Drew Soleyn. We know dads want to see their kids succeed, but they don't always know how to get there. This show gives dads the tools they need to raise confident and successful kids.
Hey, what is up, everybody? It's a new year, but look who's across from me still.
Drew Soleyn of Dad Central and the Dad Central Show.
And I didn't even give you my
great
name.
To be across from you.
I had to do something different. I didn't even give my name. So it's Ed Gough Jr., the Dad Central
New
Show.
year, new skills, new exciting stuff. That's how it goes.
Yeah. So Ed Gough Jr., Dad Central Show and Dad Central. And you already heard Drew introduce himself first this time. See, he gave his credentials first. So want to say, what is up, everybody? You're watching the Dad Central Show. And the Dad Central Show is sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care. Dove Men Plus Care believes that care is the best of a man, because when men care for themselves and others, there's a positive impact. Also, want to make sure that you listen to or watch our show on dadcentral.ca/podcast, and also review feedback. Also, too, you can email us podcast@dadcentral.ca, and also website address for lots of resources, dadcentral.ca. So this is our first recording in a new year. Drew, what is going on?
Well, I'm excited to share, I guess, some of the reflections or learnings we've had from 2023. Really, though, with a focus on what this year's going to bring. And for me, I'm grateful for the people who have, tuned into the show, but I really want to hear more. I want to hear more about how we can help, how we can support. What are the challenges? And so that's what's going on for me, is I'm really thinking about how do we learn from last year and make season 3 of the Dad Central Show the best season yet for those who are listening. Wow. What's up with you?
Well, season 3, man, we're going on a journey. Season 3 is amazing. I look back on what we've done in the past, and I think of opportunities. So I'm not a person who challenges. I always look at things. What are the opportunities? What are our opportunities to help dads, fathers, male caregivers be the best that they can be for themselves and for their families, so they can create a lifelong legacy and impact? So I just came up with that in the top of my head. So I don't know if that was a good tagline, but just think about that. So I'm always excited to do these conversations, because not only do I learn, and I won't speak for Drew, but I learn, and I want to learn through me and help the audience learn and be better. So that's one of the many reasons I love doing this conversation, other than being with you digitally, by the way.
Yeah. Appreciate that. Thank you, Ed. No, it's been a great ride, and I'm really excited for being able to do what you just talked about in helping dads, create a legacy. Or I think this year, I really like the idea of breaking that cycle of fatherlessness. We had a guest towards the end of last season whose main focus was that, and he had a particular path of how to do that. And I think I would love to continue to support that idea, because I fully believe that when fathers invest in their fatherhood, it changes the future. It changes our communities. It changes the culture, because children are so much better off when they have positive involved fathers. So I think it's really important and impactful work for me. But when I look back, I think I know you said opportunities, but the reality is that fatherhood is hard. It's really hard work sometimes. And I think that over the last 3 to 4 years, while we've been doing great work, I've also been dealing with some personal challenges. And one of the things that came up towards the end of last year and the start of this year is health. I turned 44 last year. I think that's young. I still feel really young. I don't feel that age. But the reality is I've been getting some health reports from doctors that are showing signs of wear and tear and age. And I'm someone who has, from my perspective, done as best as I could to care for my health and well-being physically, by, doing the right things as much as I could. Not perfect, all that other stuff, and not fanatical either. But health is, I think, a real challenge to be able to then show up and be the best type of father you can be. And I think you've got a fantastic saying that maybe captures it much more simply. What's your saying?
Your health is your wealth. And the reason why I keep on saying that is that if you don't take care of your health, you're going to have to take from your wealth financially to address your health. And if you do take care of your wealth, not only financially, but as a father, dad, male caregiver, increases.
Yeah, so well said. So as I think about learning from the past and planning for this year and the impact of the Dad Central show, I really do want to hear from listeners or dads in particular. What are the things that you could really do with some solutions that we can then help come alongside you through the show, through the guests that we bring on, through the conversations that we facilitate, so that you can be supported in reducing that stress and increasing your health so that you can then distribute the wealth through your family. How's that? I just keep up with that.
There you go. And I'll just kindly add on to that. And not only things that you need help with health wise, whether it's physical, mental, emotional. Now we're not mental health specialists, but we can get content from people or have people come on in that area. But also, what are some tips you as dads, fathers, male caregivers that are working for you that we can share with the community out there? And hey, we can make them as suggestions. Hey, try them. They may or may not work, but we're not the gurus. This is a journey with all of us, and we're learning along the way. So just say, if you have things that work or you need some help, we're here to work with you, help with you, because we're in this together and it's a lifelong journey.
Yeah, that's a great point. We are looking to create community. So, yes, we want to be a guide or a support, but we also want you to contribute and be part of this community. And there is so much value that comes from hearing from others who are going through their own experiences, their own opportunities, their own challenges, their own stresses, and what's been helpful for them. The more that you can learn from those who have been down the path ahead of you, the better off you are. I think William Vanderbloemen, he had a great line that makes me smile when I think about it. He's like, "Let me save you some stupid tax because I've been down this road before, so I'm going to share it back." If you remember that conversation with him last season, so yeah, I think that's so important, Ed, and building that community.
Yeah, it's really, really key. And more these days, when interesting situations come up, I'll ask or just take a look and see research and saying, where is that person's father, or what relationship they had with their father? It's such an important question when we look at people and saying, strong fatherhood leads many times to strong families. Lack of fatherhood, in many cases, leads to lack of strong families. And research
Yeah, the
also
research
proves
is
that.
really clear.
Yeah, the research is there. So we're not
Absolutely.
just putting it out there. There is data that's out there that's showing this. So it's really important that we really focus on our health. And again, mental, physical, emotional, all those things, it's all going to come up because, Drew said before we came on that, it ain't easy. Well, if it was easy, we wouldn't be on this screen, right? We wouldn't be on this screen at all. So that's why we're here to walk this journey with you and celebrate, score goals and get wins, really and truly, when it comes to fatherhood.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think about the idea that fatherhood isn't easy. I like to use the phrase it's a marathon, not a sprint, especially when you put it in the context of breaking a cycle. Many times it's been generations that things have been happening in the particular way they've been happening in that family. And in order to break that cycle, it's not going to be a one and done in terms of like you just have a good year and it's done. It's a lifelong process to begin to make the changes necessary that have been laid down for the generations before you. And so it's for that it requires much more intentionality, and it requires a perspective for the long term, not just those immediate stressors are there. But in order to get there, you have to be able to navigate and manage those stressors. I think of the conversation with Bryce Kenny he talked a lot about his grandfather's influence and those long summer rides to the racetrack that they would take, and his grandfather would, really download his wisdom. And now 20 to 30 years later, that wisdom is coming to fruition in through Bryce's life. He's now leveraging the field of motorsports as a platform to change the world. And that's what his father or his grandfather had as a vision in his heart. And he poured that vision as much as he could. And it's now coming to life through his grandson. I think that's another thing to keep in mind for fathers, that and the benefit of having multiple generations of fathers or father figures providing that type of insight and support and love and guidance, and how powerful that is. I think that's really exciting. And we want to, continue to support that through this year.
We will do that. We will do that. It's a
Yeah,
done
we will.
deal. I don't say we want to. We're going to do that. We are going. That's what
Yeah.
we do. That's what
And I want to
defines what we do.
and I want to reiterate the importance of hearing from listeners. Give us insight or feedback on what those stresses, those challenges, those questions, those wonderings that are relevant to you, so that we can come alongside through these conversations. And so whether we end up whether you email us podcast at dadcentral.ca, or whether you just email us at info@dadcentral.ca, you can either way just give us some information, and we'd love to be able to provide that through this season to support breaking that cycle of fatherlessness. So, but I'm also really excited that I think a great opportunity is when you're about to become a new dad. And we are going to be creating and it's going to be coming out very soon, new resources for the whole paternity leave process. And that's something that I'm really looking forward to seeing, because I know that's a opportunity when dads are maybe not as supported as they need to be. And we want to be the first place that dads go to when it comes to taking that important step of time off around the birth of your child. So keep looking for that. And we're going to be supporting fathers in the whole paternity leave planning and the new dad process. That's a great excitement for us this year.
Yeah, I'll just build onto that, and this it's a great example of we at Dad Central listening to you, because on our website, one of the most frequently visited areas on our website is paternity leave, and people want to know about it. So we are listening to you. So we want to continue that. That shout out to us. Tell us what you want to hear, and we'll provide you what you need. And also, there's a needs aspect to that, but value fatherhood. It's very, very important to value fatherhood. Not only you as a dad, father, caregiver, but we also want to educate those who are not that about the value of fatherhood, because there's a needs aspect for me and there's a value, and they're two different things when it comes to the fatherhood piece.
Yeah, great point, Ed.
A new season, lots of excitement. We've got many guests coming up, and we got some potential surprise. Well, we got potential surprises coming up for you too, but we're not going to get there yet. We're working on stuff. We're working on some things to as Emerald Lagasse used to say, to kick it up a notch.
Yeah, and I just want to remind dads that it's not about just listening. It's about getting in the game. It's about getting active, and it's applying this stuff, become a better dad, a better partner, a better role model, and to begin creating that legacy for yourself and for your family and their future generations. So the more you tune in, we hope the more we offer tremendous value for you in that process. Sorry,
Yeah,
Ed, I correct myself. We don't hope. I know that what we're doing and how we're doing it and the people that we're bringing on the show are going to give you the tools that you need to break that cycle.
and I just want to add on what
Better?
Drew is. Yeah, hey, absolutely. And I just want to add on to what Drew is saying, taking action. And even if the action doesn't work, hey, it didn't work. At least you know it didn't work, and we can help you try something different. Just letting it sit there isn't going to help you as a dad, father, or caregiver, and it's not going to help your family, your children, your child, etc. So make a decision, take action to level up fatherhood with us. With
Yeah.
us.
Commit
And when it
and be intentional.
yeah, and also too, as I say these days, one of my mentors a long time ago said, the more you know, the more you need to know.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's
so true as a dad. Just when I
yeah,
think I know my kids, next thing you know, they surprise the heck out of me and I gotta figure it out again. So, yeah,
yeah.
absolutely,
So
constantly learning.
absolutely. So again, we're looking forward to another season of fun, excitement, and growing with you on the Dad Central Show. As we close out, as always, the Dad Central Show is sponsored by Dove Plus Care. Dove Plus Care believes that care is the best of a man, because when men care for themselves and others, there's a positive impact. And we got to have a big shout out for their support for another year. We appreciate it and don't take it for granted. And there could be even some bigger things with Dove Plus Care coming. We won't tell you yet. We'll just see. We're going to tell you yet, but we do not take their support for granted, and we appreciate everything that they do. We got to shout out to Edelman, who is their PR company. We always say about Dove and Plus Care, but we also want to shout out Edelman. They have been very, very key in continuing this collaboration with them, Dove Men Plus Care, and dads and fathers and caregivers around the world. So, as always, email us, podcast@dadcentral.ca. We want to know what you want. We're listening, we're hearing, we want to action the best we can with you. Also, listen to the show, watch the show, dadcentral.ca/podcasts. And finally, great resources already at dadcentral.ca, but even more new resources coming. But the resources we have already can get you leveling up your fatherhood game. So as always, want to say, don't just manage your time, manage your energy. Remember to give yourselves grace, and let's go. Season 3 is here.